What is up, everybody? Happy hump day. Welcome back. Welcome back. I didn't fish yesterday, and I had some stuff to do in the morning. I was going to go out last evening, but the weather didn't cooperate, so I'm back out today, and I have been trolling all day. I've struggled a little bit the last week or so trying to find fish to jig. So I have clients Friday and Saturday. I've been asked to take out sports writers from the New York State Outdoor Writers Convention in Oswego this week, and I've got two sports writers. I don't know who or from where yet, on Friday and two on Saturday. So I'm trying to put together a program that, just in case, I don't know what kind of fishermen I'm going to get. I don't know if they know how to jig or want to jig. So in these kind of situations, I try to make sure that I've got a trolling pattern worked out. I don't know that I would say I have a pattern today, but I've caught two keepers and a big smallmouth and a giant perch. I started out this morning slow pulling harnesses, and I did that for an hour through a pretty good picture in the West End. I didn't get bit. What I will say is I had an orange hammer down and a chartreuse hammer, and I had plastics on both of them. I didn't have live worms. So I switched over to plugs. I talked to my buddy Jason over at Real Natural Guide Service, and I just said, hey, have you been doing better on plugs or on harnesses? And he said plugs, and I kind of wanted to troll plugs today anyway, a little faster. I found a pretty good picture, though, in a couple different locations. So that makes me happy. I'm going to see if I get my wife back out here this evening, if the weather's nice, and I may go jig some of these fish that I found, but if not, I probably will keep trolling today, tomorrow, and then so I've got something ready for Friday morning. Now tomorrow, I think I'm gonna grab some worms, and I'm gonna pull harnesses slow and see if I can't find them and get them going good that way. I'd like to have a couple different things that I could do. In the old guiding me, even though I don't really guide anymore. You'll guide me when you got customers coming that you don't know anything about. You try to have 3 or 4 different programs that you can just drop right into and say, okay, I know I've done this in this spot, in this conditions, and we go from there. But it's been fun. I've had all my bites on 2 lures. One, it's out in the water right now, or I'll show you. I'll put a picture of it up. It's an old bay rat. It's new, but it's old. And I don't think they're making bay rats anymore. I heard rumor that somebody bought them. I don't know if that's true. They make a nice plug. They made nice lures. I don't really know why they went under. I don't know anything about the company or who owned it or anything like that. All I've heard is some rumors here and there. And we all know about rumors. I'm not watching where I'm going, but there's nobody out there. So I got the trolling motor pulling me along at 2.1 has been my best speed. Going with the wind. Not to say you can't catch them trolling into the wind, but I'd have to fire up the big motor to go into the wind, and might even need a bag if I wasn't going slow enough. So I typically troll with the wind, with the trolling motor. It works. And I have autopilot with it like this. Even though I'm not hooked up to a unit up there, I can set on my remote, I can set that little N button right there. That's direction. And then that little button right there is speed. So if you look, you can see I've got my course set and my speed set. So it's nice. You know, in these situations, I'm alone today. So when I catch fish, I know the boat's going to keep going straight. I don't have to worry about it. I know there's nobody in front of me, so I don't have to worry about that. And I just fight the fish and net them. You know, it works out pretty well. And actually, the low side on this boat right here, that low stern, that makes a perfect spot to slip those fish. If you don't want to net them, you can almost just slide them right up on the back deck. They don't even know what hit them. I don't know if I would do that with a big one, obviously, but, you know, in this situation, it's all right. And like I say, I fished all weekend. I fished Sunday and Monday. I did a report on Saturday, but I didn't do much. You know, and Sunday I didn't do much. Like I say, I personally have been struggling to find fish. All of my normal spots this time of year, I keep cycling through them and looking and looking. And again, today's the best picture I've seen. But water's a little stained. Surface temp out here is 65 because we had all that west wind yesterday push all that warm surface water back to the other end, to the east end, and it cycled some of that cold water back through to our side. So, you know, we'll see. But this wind has been a little gnarly because, let's see, Monday, and I don't know what happened. We forgot about it. We got our butts kicked out there. My buddy Paul and I fished Monday morning in that east wind, and it was gnarly. We were in 4s and 5s out here. We were jigging, and we did end up spending quite a bit of time throwing swim baits, and the swim baits caught some fish. I think we had 5 species. I had 2 pickerel, a smallmouth, and a walleye, and Paul had a largemouth. But again, it wasn't a banner day. I don't know what happened, though. On our way in, we were talking about something else. I completely forgot to do a morning report. I didn't even realize it until yesterday. So, but again, I don't come on and talk just to hear myself talk. I mean, if there's something interesting or if there's a bite going on or whatever, then I'm all about it. I know people are catching fish. I don't mean to say that the fishing's not good, because it is. It just hasn't been great for me in the last week. I was on a little bit of a roll. I'll tell you, it all started with the snake incident. I'll be honest with you. I had fish out on the east side of the thumb, and that snake kept me out of there for a week. It's a snake's fault. It's true. Throughout history, it's always the snake's fault. So I don't have much longer here. I got about another 10 minutes I'm going to troll, and then off to work I go. So I've been fishing all morning in 21 to 25 trolling. The only 2 bites I had, walleye bites, were on a pink and white deep diving bay rat with nothing on it. And out of the package, it says that should dive to 20 to 25 feet. So I'm running it short. I was running it back 100, 125 feet. I've got bit both those distances. And it's down there freewheeling on its own. Now, my trolling rods are all spooled up with 8-pound test braid, Cortland Master Braid. It really cuts the water extremely well, and you get a little extra depth out of your lures. So I don't run them as long as I normally would, because I don't want them scrubbing bottom either. But my picture is everything today. There's been none of those. Normally you see those high fish, that 12 to 15 foot of water, mid-water column. As you're trolling, you'll see a lot of those high marks. I haven't seen any of those today. What I have seen, though, is a lot of... Sorry, my camera shut off. My phone shut off. So I'll edit this in. But that's about it for me for this morning. I'll put a picture up of those couple fish and that trolling program. I've got them out on a planer board, so get them spread away from the boat. Nothing too fancy. It's really just flatline trolling. Not terribly hard. You just got to get those lures down one way or another. You got to get your lures down to where you're seeing fish. If you see them high, in that 12 to 15 foot, You can put almost anything down there to them, because you want it above their head anyway. I haven't seen those high fish today, at least not this morning. So I've kept my stuff down in the bottom quarter, the bottom 25% of the water column, and I say it's worked. It's worked somewhat. I mean, I'm not killing them by any means. If I had all day, I'm sure I could scratch a limit out here, or maybe find a pack of hot fish that were ready and willing. But I've went through enough today that I feel pretty good about, having some fish to come back and troll for. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great hump day. Keep your tip up.